Hey, so this is my third YouTube video. I'm in London now. I moved at the weekend, so it's Tuesday now, and I moved on Sunday. And yeah, kind of settling in and everything, but it's going well so far, so that's positive. Today I wanted to talk about the impermanence of things. And this morning, like, I haven't been on social media. This is the 5th day, so 4 whole days off of social media, and I woke up this morning and I thought today is the day. You know, I feel recentered, I feel better, I've moved, I feel settled in, and now I want to get back to posting content and doing videos. And the first post that I saw when I opened my social media was my favourite author, motivational speaker, had posted saying that she's getting a divorce. And honestly, I'm still so surprised, and I'm like speechless, and I almost felt like someone had died, like, and it was like a surprise, and I just, like, it wasn't a good surprise, and I was like, whoa, like, that's, like, they've built a massive, amazing, huge, it's such an amazing business, and I follow them on social media. You know, for their business they've got 3 platforms, plus she's got a platform and he's got a platform, so there's quite a lot of coverage through their lives and their business and what they're doing. And I think social media is, they have the perfect life. You know, they built this business together, they work together, they have beautiful children, they have, you know, they moved to Texas, I think 2 years ago now, and they have a beautiful home. Their business is thriving, and it's you know, it's moving forward more and more every month. It's something new is happening, and it's exciting, and what an achievement that is. And they've written books and everything, and I, in my eyes, and someone that wants to achieve in the same area and the same industry as them, it's extremely inspirational for me. And I followed Rachel for, it must be like 5 years now, and she's like my favourite online person. I've had the privilege to meet her as well. I read her books, all of them. I listened to her podcasts. I follow her on social media. I've taken part in her conference. Like, I really believe in everything that she's doing. And I just saw it and I was like, what? I think it reminded me, it also tied in nicely with how I felt when my mum dropped me off on Sunday, and how when you grow up and your parents grow older, you realise how impermanent and how fragile that is. That your relationship changes, and that you start worrying about them. I don't really ever stop worrying about you. You worry about them more, you feel more responsible. The need to care more is there, and how impermanent things are. And I was listening to a podcast by Yoga Girl only a few weeks ago about, you know, the fragile impermanence of life. And I just thought how we live in this structure in society that's conditioned us and almost like brainwashed us into thinking that this is permanent. You know, we get a tomorrow, we get a next week, we plan events month in advance, we plan events years in advance. Weddings is a prime example. You know, you might get engaged and then you're like, oh yeah, our date's 2 years away, and you plan for that. You have babies and you plan for that 9 months in advance, and you think, oh, I'm going to do that tomorrow, or when I've got some more time, or when I'm off from work in like a few months' time, then I'm going to do it. Then I'm going to spend more time with people. Then I'm going to start looking after myself. And just this like constant, we have so much time, and there's always another time and a better time to do it. And we're going to have that. You know, it's not just you might have the time, but whatever it is you're going to do, or the person you were going to do it with might not. you know, they can move away, or, you know, relationships break up and things. And I'm just so shocked about how, I don't know, I'm baffled by this. I think it also highlights, you know, you must have thought about it before. I have many times about how social media it's fake. You know, you post on there what you want to post, and I try and be really genuine, and I hope that comes through in my videos and my social media. You know, whatever I talk about is happening to me. It's never something that I've made up in the hope that someone's going to read it and be like, oh yeah, I can totally relate to that. I'm like, cool. Like, just it's not, that's not what I do. Maybe that's not the best way to explain it, but that's not what I do. You know, everything I feel, and when I feel down, and when I feel motivated, and when I feel, you know, like when I took a break, I was serious about it. Like, it's, you know, this is how I'm feeling about it, and I'm not afraid to speak up and say this is how I'm feeling, because I think there's such an important part of being vulnerable and admitting how you're really feeling, and that could be a multitude of things that you're feeling. And I think there's such importance in being vulnerable, and you don't have to do that on social media. Of course you don't. It's just my platform, you know, it is kind of important that I do that. Anyway, going back to the social media, it's just how there's definitely in society this, you know, looking at celebrities and things with all their money and their big houses, and it's how we look at them in their perfect life. Perfect, as in they have all the things that we want and nothing bad ever happens to them, and they have enough money not to worry about debt and charges, and not being able to afford a new car if it breaks, or, you know, being able to afford horses or whatever it might be. You know, having the Pinterest house, and the beautiful babies, and the amazing weddings, and the unattainable, we see it as perfect because it's unattainable for, you know, for us, it's unattainable. But this post that Rachel posted just reminded me of how, I don't want to say fake, I mean, I'm sure there are millions of Instagram accounts, you know, and social media accounts and platforms and people that are fake. But just in terms of Rachel, she's very genuine and very honest and very open. And I think, you know, she said in the post that they've been struggling for like 3 years, and I was like, this whole time that I've been following them, like, if they've considered, you know, that it might not work and that they're just going to be business partners, and they've been thinking, you know, mulling over it for like 3 years, like, that's crazy. Because in my eyes, I just saw it as like they're getting stronger. He left Disney, working for Disney, like a really high up position in Disney, to go and be the CEO of her business. And I think that he's staying in that position. Like, they're staying business partners and everything. I'm assuming just one of them is going to move out, or they're going to sell the house, or I don't know. Yeah, and I just was like, I thought they were getting stronger and their achievements were only getting bigger, and I'm just so baffled by it. And I think it just really has reminded me of the impermanence and the fragility of the things we have in our life, and why it's important. You know, I'm not saying wake up every day and be like, oh, this could be the last day. I mean, some people do, you know, they say in a positive way, this could be the last day, how do I want to live my last day? Or would I be happy if I knew this was my last day? Would I be happy with the things I'm about to do? You know, some people do, whatever works for you. It doesn't have to be that you wake up every day thinking I could die today, or my mum could die today, so I need to be super grateful all the time. Like, it's quite a hard thing to obtain. It's not very realistic. But just being conscious of the flippancy that we have to say, oh, I'm just going to do it next week. Oh, I'm just going to leave it until I've got more time, or I will spend more time with that person when it suits me, you know. And I'm not saying, you know, I would never tell people what to do. You have to do what works for you. I'm just openly speaking about how we could be more conscious about the things that we do. And like I said, the flippancy of how we just say, oh, I can just do it tomorrow, or I can just do it later, or putting things to the back burner that we know are not necessarily, you know, going to be beneficial for us to not do. You know, we could have things that we want to do. We might want to write a book, we might want to start running yoga classes, we could publish a song that we've done, start a podcast, start a business, whatever it might be. And we just keep saying, oh, we don't have time, I don't have time to do that, or I'm never going to be successful, or I don't know how to do it, so I'm not going to. And we put it off, and we put it off, and we put it off, and then we look back and go, 10 years have gone by, and you still think about it, it's still there, but you just always think there's going to be another day. There's always going to be another time where you're going to feel like it, where the timing is just going to be right, and that's when you're going to do it. I'm really sad. I'm sad that it has to end. They said it's been a very hard time, like the hardest 4 months for them, and I can't even imagine. My heart goes out to them and their family, and I know I don't know them personally. Like I said, I've met Rachel, but we're not friends. But I feel like because they've had, they share quite a lot, and they are genuine that they're gonna pull through this, and they're gonna make it work, and they're co-parenting and their business is gonna be great. I think the thing that just really got to me was that they always seem so happy together, like, and getting stronger, and they were a partnership, and they were a married couple, and they worked together, and everything was like a power couple, I guess. They were like the goals. They were my goals. Like I've wanted to be like Rachel forever. Like, she's such an inspirational person, like so much. And I just thought, wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. And just, I guess, a time in quarantine where I've been thinking about, how I want to move forward with my own life, and the time I've had to reflect on what I've been allowing, and boundaries that I've been allowing people to cross over, or boundaries I haven't even put up, and just how important that is. Yeah, so it's just me having a little chat about that, but I think it's something to definitely think about, is the fragile impermanence of life, and how we can be more conscious in moments and with people, and more conscious in our decisions that we make, and just gratitude, so much gratitude for what we have, because so many things you think are permanent. Like, we're in that ideal world where it's like, if you get married to the love of your life, it's permanent. If you have a baby, it's permanent. If you move into a dream house, this is it. But not trying to be too morbid, but things happen. Life happens, So I'm thinking about it, and it's not entirely negative, it's not entirely positive, but I'm wanting to be more conscious and grateful. Like, I have a gratitude practice every day, and I'm trying to implement more gratitude into my life all the time. But I don't know what that is. I think it's a dumpster thing outside. London's very noisy. But yeah, so maybe just something to think about. Yeah, I'm so shocked. I'm so shocked, and I didn't think that something like that would affect me so much. But I think when you have this like situation, again, a permanent thought, like, this is gonna always stay like this, and then when that changes and you're like, whoa, like that, I never thought that was never gonna happen. Okay, before that dumpster gets any closer to my window and you can't hear me, I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching, and I hope I gave you something to think about in a positive way. Bye.